Good morning students. Today we'll start for our revision part 1. So we will revise lesson number 5 first, that is operations on rational numbers. From each exercise we will solve one sum. Okay. So let's start now. What is the definition for rational numbers? Rational number means all the integers can be written in the form m upon n. If m is any integer and n is any non-zero integer, then the number m upon n is called a rational number. Rational number means all the integers can be written in the form m upon n, where m is any integer and n is any non-zero integer, then the number m upon n is called a rational number. Now we'll start solving the sums. Now as you can see here, first sum, that is carry out the addition of following rational number. Okay, now we will add these rational numbers. As you can see here, 5 upon 36 plus 6 upon 42. So for addition of rational numbers, first we have to make the denominators equal. Now how you will make the denominators equal? By cross multiplication and by finding LCM. Okay, so as you can see here, in the denominator the numbers are bigger, so don't do cross multiplication, you will use the method that is LCM. So first we will find out LCM. So let's start now. First we will find LCM of 36 and 42. As you can see here, the denominator is 36 and here it is 42. So first we will find out LCM of 36 and 42. So as you can see here, I have written both the numbers 36 and 42. Now both the numbers are divisible by 2. So here we will write down 2. Now 36 divided by 2 is 18. So below 36 I have written here 18. Why I have written here 18? 36 divided by 2 is 18. Now 42 divided by 2. 42 divided by 2 is 21. So that I have written it here below 42. Now we got 18 and 21. 18 and 21 both the numbers are divisible by 3, right? So we will divide both the numbers by 3. So here I have written 3. 18 divided by 3, that is 6, and 21 divided by 3 is 7. Okay, now here we got 6 and 7. Now these both the numbers are not divisible by any single number, so we will keep till here. Now how you will find out LCM, that is least common multiple. So you will multiply all the factors. See here, this is 2, here it is 3, and here it is 6, and here it is 7. So you will multiply all these factors, so you will get LCM. So we'll write down here LCM is equal to 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 7. Now we will do the multiplication. As you will multiply all these numbers, you will get the answer, that is 252. So now what is the LCM of 36 and 42? The LCM of 36 and 42 is 252, right? Now here we got LCM. Now what is the next step? Next step is, yes, after finding LCM, that is 252, what we will do is, in the denominator, as you can see here, in the denominator there is 36 and 42, right? So what we will do, we want 252 in the denominator. So 36 multiplied by which number you will get 252? 36 multiplied by 7. And 42 multiplied by which number you will get 252? 42 multiplied by 6, right? As we got LCM 252, you will make the denominators 252, right? So 36 multiplied by 7 we will get 252, and 42 multiplied by 6 we will get 252. So as we are multiplying this 7 and here it is 6 in the denominator, the same number you have to multiply in the numerator also. So as you can see here, 5 multiplied by 7 and here it is 6 multiplied by 6. As we are multiplying here 7, so in the numerator also we will multiply with 7. Here we are multiplying with 6, so here in the numerator also we will multiply this numerator with 6. Now after this we will do the multiplication. 5 7s are 35 and 36 multiplied by 7 is 252, right? So 6 6 are 36 and 42 multiplied by 6 is 252. Okay, now see here, the denominators are equal. So what is the next step? If the denominators are equal, we are writing denominator only once and add the numerators. What is there in the numerator? 35 and here it is 36. So 35 plus 36 and denominator will write down only once, that is 252. So 35 plus 36 is 71 and in the denominator 252. So this is the answer, 71 upon 252. It is not further divided, so we will keep till here. So this is the final answer, 71 upon 252. Okay, hope we are clear with this. So in this way you will carry out the addition of a rational numbers. Now we will see few more examples. Now carry out the following subtraction involving rational numbers. Now we will see how to carry out subtraction. It is same, only in place of addition you will write down subtraction sign and you will do subtraction, not addition. Okay, so let's start now. 7 upon 11 minus 3 upon 7. As you can see here, the denominators are not same. So we will make the denominators equal by cross multiplication, right? So now we'll do the cross multiplication first. 7 upon 11, both the numbers, numerator and denominator, you will multiply with, yes, 7. And 3 upon 7, both numerator and denominator, you will multiply it with 11. Okay, so this is cross multiplication, right? I hope you remember the method of cross multiplication. First number, that is first rational number, you will multiply it with second rational number's denominator, and second rational number you will multiply with first rational number's denominator. Okay, so as you can see here, first we have written 7 upon 11, first rational number as it is, multiply by 7, multiply by 7. Okay, in between minus sign. Then we have written the second rational number 3 upon 7, multiply by 11, multiply by 11. Okay, now we will do the multiplication. 7 sevens are 49, 11 sevens are 77. 3 multiply by 11, 3 11s are 33, and 11 sevens are, or 7 11s are 77. Now here the denominators are equal, so we can do subtraction. Okay, so what is the next step now? As the denominators are equal, we will write down denominator only once and subtract the numerators. Now here you will not add the numerators. Why? Because we are doing subtraction. In the question, carry out the following subtraction, we have to do subtraction. So we will not add the numerators. We will subtract the numerators, and denominator we will write only once. So what will be the next step? 49 minus 33 upon 77. So as you can see here, the next step is 49 minus 33 upon 77. So 49 minus 33 we will do. So the answer is 16 upon 77. 49 minus 33 is 16, and 77 in the denominator we will write down as it is. So what is the answer now? 16 upon 77. Okay, hope we are clear with this. So till now we have seen addition of rational numbers and subtraction of rational numbers. In both we will follow the same method. Only in addition you will add the numbers, in subtraction you will subtract the numbers. Okay, first we will make the denominators equal, then only we can carry out addition or subtraction. Now we will see the next sums. Okay, now we will see the multiplication. How to multiply rational numbers. In the multiplication, no need to make the denominators equal. As I had told you earlier, in the multiplication what we are doing? Numerator multiply by numerator and denominator multiply by denominator. Okay, so what is there in the numerator? 3, and here it is 2. So 3 multiply by 2, and see the denominators 11, here it is 5. 11 multiply by 5. So in the multiplication of rational numbers, you will not make the denominators equal. The first step is numerator multiply by numerator and denominator multiply by denominator. So 3 multiply by 2, and in the denominator 11, and here it is 5. So 11 multiply by 5. Now we will do the multiplication. 3 2s are 6 and 11 5s are 55. So what is the answer? 6 upon 55 is the answer. Okay. So in this way you will multiply the following rational number. Numerator multiply by numerator and denominator multiply by denominator. Okay. After multiplication you will get the answer. If it is further divided, then you can divide that number, otherwise keep till that only. Okay, now 6 and 55, both the numbers are not divisible by any single number, so this is the final answer, 6 upon 55. Now we will see the next question. Okay, now the next one, that is multiplicative inverse. How to write down multiplicative inverse? What is the multiplicative inverse of 2 upon 5? The multiplicative inverse of 2 upon 5 is, yes, 5 upon 2. So this type of questions can come for fill in the blanks, yes, or it can come for solve the following for 1 mark question. Okay. Now the second one is minus 3 upon 8. What is the multiplicative inverse of minus 3 upon 8? That is minus 8 upon 3. Now without fail you will write down this sign also in the numerator. Okay. Only the numbers will change, but the sign will remain as it is in the numerator. Okay, so what is the multiplicative inverse of minus 3 upon 8? That is minus 8 upon 3. Okay, numerator will goes in the denominator and denominator will write in the numerator in place of numerator. Now we will see few more examples based on this. Now what is the multiplicative inverse of 7? So the multiplicative inverse of 7 is 1 upon 7. Why 1 upon 7? There is no number there in the denominator, means there is always 1. Okay, so what is the multiplicative inverse of 7 upon 1? It is 1 upon 7, right? So the answer is 1 upon 7. Now as you can see here, mixed fraction is given in the fifth one, minus 7 1 upon 3. So first we will convert this mixed fraction into simple fraction, then only we can write down multiplicative inverse. So first we will convert this mixed fraction into simple fraction. As you know the method how to convert this mixed fraction into simple fraction. See here, 7 multiplied by 3 and you will add this 1. So 3 7s are 21 plus 1, that is 22, and in the denominator 3 will write down as it is. 7 3s are 21 plus 1 22 upon 3, and minus sign we are written as it is. So what we got? Minus 22 upon 3. Yes, this is the simple fraction, minus 22 upon 3. Now we can write down multiplicative inverse of minus 22 upon 3. So what is the multiplicative inverse of minus 22 upon 3? That is minus 3 upon 22. So what is the answer? The multiplicative inverse of minus 7 1 upon 3 is minus 3 upon 22. So if this type of question will come in the exam, first you have to convert this mixed fraction into simple fraction, then only you can write down multiplicative inverse of that simple fraction. Okay, now we will see the next sum, that is division of rational numbers. Just now we have seen addition, subtraction and multiplication of rational numbers. Now the next one, that is division of rational numbers. How to carry out division of rational numbers? In the division of rational numbers there are two steps. First step, what we will do is, first rational number will write down as it is. As you can see here, minus 10 upon 11 I have written as it is. Then in place of division sign you will write down multiplication. Okay, and you will write down multiplicative inverse of the second rational number. So what is the second rational number? Minus 11 upon 10. So what is the multiplicative inverse of minus 11 upon 10? That is minus 10 upon 11. Okay, so here we are written minus 10 upon 11. As we are writing here in place of division multiplication sign, you will write down multiplicative inverse of the second number, second rational number, that is minus 10 upon 11. Now see here, we got here minus 10 upon 11 multiplied by minus 10 upon 11. Now here this is in how we are doing multiplication of rational numbers. In that same way now we will solve. So how we are doing multiplication of rational number? Numerator multiply by numerator and denominator multiply by denominator. So what is there in the numerator? Minus 10. Here it is minus 10. So minus 10 multiply by minus 10, and in the denominator 11, here it is 11. 11 multiply by 11. Okay, now we can do the multiplication. Minus 10 multiply by minus 10, that is 10 tens are 100, and minus minus it becomes plus. So what we will get here? That is 100, right? And 11 multiply by 11 is 121. Okay, so we will see the next step now. See here, minus 10 multiply by minus 10, that is 100, and 11 multiply by 11 is 121. So this is division of rational numbers. In the division of rational numbers, what we will do? We'll write down first rational number as it is. See, we'll write down first rational number as it is, that is minus 10 upon 11. In place of division sign, we'll write down multiplication, and we'll write down multiplicative inverse of the second rational number. Okay, and then we will carry out the multiplication of rational numbers. How you are doing? In that same way, numerator multiply by numerator and denominator multiply by denominator. Then you will do the multiplication, you will get the answer. Okay, hope you are clear till here. So till now what we have seen in lesson number 5, that is carry out of additions of rational numbers, subtraction, multiplication and division, and we have seen how to write down multiplicative inverse. Now we will see how to write down the rational number in decimal form. Okay, as you can see, one example is given, that is 13 upon 4. So first you will write down 13 here, 13 divided by 4, right? Now we will divide these numbers. As you can see here, 13 will divide this 13 by 4. So 4 3s are 12. Okay, so below 13 I have written here 12. Here it is 3. 4 3s are 12. Now 13 minus 12 is 1. Okay, now 1, it is not divisible by 4. So what we will do? We'll put here decimal point. As we are writing here decimal point, we'll add here 1 0, right? So it becomes 10. As you can see here. Here it is 3. As I written here decimal point, we'll add here 1 0, that is 10 now. Now here it is 10, here it is 4. So how we will divide this 10 by 4? 4 2s are 8, right? Now 10 minus 8 is 2. Again 2 is not divisible by 4. So we'll add here 1 0. Now again you will not put the decimal point. Only once you will put the decimal point. Now here we'll add 1 0. Now here it is 20. So how we will divide this 20 by 4? 4 5s are 20. So what is there in the remainder is 10. And what is there in the quotient? 3.25. So what is the answer? 13 upon 4 is equal to 3.25. Okay. Hope you are clear with this. 3.25. Okay, so we have written this rational number in decimal form, that is 3.25. Now the next concept, that is mathematical expression, or how to solve expression. An arrangement of numbers expressed using the signs of addition, subtraction, multiplication and division is called a mathematical expression. An arrangement of numbers expressed using the signs of addition, subtraction, multiplication and division is called a mathematical expression. Now rules for simplifying an expression. How to simplify an expression? So there are few rules to simplify an expression that we will read out first. First is, if more than one operation is to be carried out, then multiplication and division are carried out first in order in which they occur from left to right. From left to right we will see the order of the operations and will carry out multiplication and division first. After that addition and subtraction are carried out in the order which they occur from left to right. After that we will carry out addition and subtraction and we will see the order, we will follow the order from left to right. If there are more than one operations in the brackets, follow the above two rules while carrying out the operation. So these two rules we have to follow. Okay, if there are more than one operations in the brackets. Okay, hope you are clear with this. So these are the rules for simplifying an expression. Now we will see one example how to simplify the following expression, following mathematical expression. As you can see here, the brackets are given. So first what we will do, we'll solve the brackets first. Now in the solution, as you can see here, 220, I have written the question here. Okay, 220 minus 140 plus in bracket 10 multiplied by 9 plus again the bracket minus 2 multiplied by 5, then bracket complete minus 100 outside the bracket. So first we will carry out the operations which are given in the brackets. So 220 minus 140, that is 80. Okay, we'll carry out this first. 220 minus 140, that is 80. Now 10 multiplied by 9 we will do, that is 90. Now the next one in between, as you can see here, I have written a minus sign. Why? Because this plus minus it becomes minus and 2 5s are 10. So here it is 10. Minus 100 we have written as it is. Okay, first we'll carry out this operation. 220 minus 140, that is 80. Then 10 multiplied by 9, that is 90. Plus minus it becomes minus and 2 5s are 10. Right, and minus 100 we are written outside as it is. Now the next step is 80 we are written as it is. Now we'll simplify this bracket first. 90 minus 10 is 80 and minus 100 outside as it is. Now 80 plus 80, that is 160 and minus 100. Once we will solve the bracket, then we can remove the bracket and we can write the numbers. Okay, so 160 minus 100. So 160 minus 100 is 60. So what is the answer here? 60. So in this way you will simplify the following expression which is given. Okay, now okay, we'll see the questions based on this lesson. So this type of questions can come for exam. So we will see the questions based on lesson number 5. Question number 1 is select one correct answer. Now here options are given. From the option you will select one correct answer. This is for 1 mark. Okay. So the first question is carry out the multiplication of rational numbers. As you can see here the numbers are given, that is 1 upon 2 multiplied by 3 upon 5. Okay, you will carry out the multiplication of rational numbers. So in the rough you will do it 1 upon 2 multiplied by 3 upon 5. So as we know, in the multiplication we are multiplying numerator with the numerator, that is 3 multiplied by 1. 3 ones are 3, and denominator multiplied by denominator, that is 5 twos are, or 2 fives are 10. So what is the answer? 3 upon 10, and the options are given. The first option is 3 upon 10 and the second option is 5 upon 6. So which is the correct answer, correct option? That is option A, 3 upon 10. So you will select the correct option, that is A, 3 upon 10. Okay. So 1 upon 2 multiplied by 3 upon 5 is 3 upon 10. Now we will see the second question. What is the multiplicative inverse of minus 2 upon 3? Okay, so what is the multiplicative inverse of minus 2 upon 3? The multiplicative inverse of minus 2 upon 3 is minus 3 upon 2, right? So as you can see here, in the option 3 upon 2 and in the B option minus 3 upon 2 is given. So which is the correct one? Second one, right? Minus 3 upon 2. First one, the numbers are correct, 3 upon 2, but minus sign is missing. So this is wrong. Okay. So option B is correct, that is minus 3 upon 2. So you will select the correct option, that is option B, minus 3 upon 2. Yes, what is the multiplicative inverse of minus 2 upon 3? That is minus 3 upon 2. So these type of questions can come from this lesson for your exam. Okay. Now we will see one more question, that is fill in the blank. Now question number 2, fill in the blanks. In that first one, if we obtain 0 as the remainder, this type of decimal form of a rational number is called dash decimal form. So if we obtain 0 as the remainder, this type of decimal form of a rational number is called dash decimal form. The options are given. Option A is recurring and option B is terminating. So which is the correct option? Yes, option B, that is terminating, is the correct option. So you will select the correct option, that is option B, terminating. If we obtain 0 as the remainder, this type of decimal form of a rational number is called terminating decimal form. Okay, hope you are clear till here. So now we will move to the next lesson, that is lesson number 6, indices. Just now we have completed lesson number 5. Now we'll start with lesson number 6, indices. Okay, so what is an index? First we will see the definition. The index of a number says how many times to use the number in a multiplication, and it is written as a small number to the right and above the base number. In this example, as you can see here one example is given, 8 raised to 2. So in this example 8 is the base and 2 is the index. Okay, means what? 8 raised to 2 means what? 8 we will multiply how many times? 2 times. So 8 multiplied by 8, that is 8 8s are 64. The plural of index is indices. Plural of index is indices. Other names for index are exponent or power. The other names which we are using for index, that is exponent or power. So in this 8 raised to 2, 8 is the base and 2 is the index or exponent or power. Okay, hope you are clear with this. Now we'll start. Okay, find the value. How to find out the value? As you can see here, 2 raised to 10 means what? 2 you will multiply 10 times. Okay, so 2 multiplied by 2, how many times you will do? 10 times. Okay, after multiplication you will get the answer, that is 1024, 1024. Okay, so in this way you will find the value. You will see the index, that is the number. Okay, and that many times you will multiply the base which is given. Now the second number, 5 raised to 3 means what? 5 you will multiply how many times? 3, right? Index or the exponent or the power, that is 3, and the base is 5. So 5 you will multiply 3 times. So 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5, that is 125. So the answer is 125. Okay. Now the next one we will see how to find out square root of a perfect square. So finding the square root of by the factors method. So in the factors method, first, as you can see here, first what we will do? as we have to find out factors of 144. So we'll write down 144. So 144 is divisible by 2, right? So I have written here 2. 144 divided by 2, that is 72. So we are written below 144 72. Now 72 again it is divisible by 2. So 72 divided by 2 is 36, that we have written below 72. Now 36 divided by, again 36 divided by 2. So 36 divided by 2 is 18, that we are written below 36. Now 18, again 18 is divisible by 2. So 18 divided by 2, that is 9. Now here it is 9. It is not divisible by 2, it is divisible by 3. So we are written here 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Now 3 is divisible by 3, right? So 3 ones are 3. So here as we got 1, so these are the prime factors. So we'll write down or we'll multiply all the prime factors as you can see here. Then after writing all the prime factors, what we will do? We'll pair up the equal factors. Now which are the equal factors here? See here, this first pair, this is second pair and third pair. Okay, we'll pair up the equal factors and we will take one factor from each pair. So from this, pair we will take 2, from this pair we will take 2, and from this pair we will take 3 and multiply all the factors. Okay, so first we'll write down all the prime factors, then we will make a pair of equal factors, and from each pair we will take one factor and multiply. So 2 multiply by 2, 2 2s are 4, 4 3s are 12. So what is the square root of 144? The square root of 144 is 12. Okay, hope you are clear with this method, factors method. First we'll find out the factors, then we'll write down all the prime factors. Okay, and from that prime factors you will make the pairs of equal factors. Then from each pair you will take one factor and then you will multiply that. So you will get the square root of that particular number. Okay, now we will see the next one. Now we'll see how to multiply or the multiplication of indices with the same base. Okay, there is one formula, you have to learn this formula. So this is the formula: a raised to m multiplied by a raised to n is equal to, as you can see here the base is same. So how you will carry out the multiplication of indices with the same base? So this is the formula: a raised to m multiplied by a raised to n is equal to a raised to, first we'll write down the base, a raised to m plus n, means what? You will add the index. Here it is m, here it is n, so you will do the addition of index. Okay, so what is the formula? A raised to m multiplied by a raised to n is equal to a raised to m plus n. Okay, now we will see one sum based on this. As you can see here, minus 3 upon 2 raised to 5 multiplied by minus 3 upon 2 raised to 3. So base is same, that we will write down only once. As you can see here, minus 3 upon 2, and we'll add the index. So what is there here? Here index is 5 and here index is 3. So you will add the index, 5 plus 3, that is 8, right? So what is the answer? Minus 3 upon 2 raised to 8. Okay, so in the multiplication of indices with the same base, you will add the index. Okay, base you will write down as it is only once and you will add the index. Now how to carry out division of indices with the same base? Just now we are seeing multiplication of indices with the same base. Now we will see division of indices with the same base. So for division of indices also there is one formula, that is a raised to m divided by a raised to n is equal to a raised to m minus n. Now in the in the multiplication we are adding the index, but in the division you will subtract the index. Okay, so this is the example: 6 raised to 4 divided by 6 raised to 2. You will write down the base only once and you will subtract the index. So what is the index here? 4. Here it is 2. So 4 minus 2, that is 2. Okay, so what is the answer? 6 raised to 2. Now we will see one sum based on this: a raised to 6 divided by a raised to 4. Now base is same, that will write down only once and subtract the index. So index is 6 here, here it is 4. So 6 minus 4, that is 6 minus 4 is 2. So what is the answer? A raised to 2 is the answer. Okay, hope you are clear with this. So in the multiplication of indices with the same base, you will add the index, and in division of indices with the same base, you will subtract the index. Now how to find out the value? Just now we are seeing the simplified. Okay, now we will find the value also. So again the same formula you will use as in the division is given. So we have to divide these indices. So minus 7 we are written as it is, that is base, and subtract the index. So here it is 12, here it is 12. 12 minus 12 is 0. So what is the answer? Minus 7 raised to 0 means, yes, I had given one formula, that is a raised to 0 is equal to 1. So a raised to 0 is equal to 1 means 0 power of any number is equal to 1. So minus 7 raised to 0 is equal to, what is the answer? 1. So you will not write down minus 7 raised to 0. After this you will write down minus 7 raised to 0 is equal to 1, and you will write the formula a raised to 0 is equal to 1. Okay, hope you are clear with this. Now we will see the questions based on this. Lesson number 6. This type of questions can come for exam. True or false, we will see question number 1. The second power of any number is the cube of that number. Now options are given true and the B1, that is false. Now you will identify whether the statement is true or false. The second power of any number is the cube of that number. This statement is false. Why? Because the second power of any number is the square of that number, but in the question it is given the second power of any number is the cube of that number. So this is false. So you will click the second, that B option, that is false. Now second one, in the number 7 raised to 2, 7 is the base. A option true and B is false. So whether the statement is true or false, that we will see. In the number 7 raised to 2, 7 is the base. Yes, this statement is correct. 7 is the base and 2 is the index. So the statement is true. So you will select the A option, that is true. Okay. Now we will see one more question from this. That is question number 2. Solve and choose the correct option. Now you will solve this and you will choose the correct option. First question is minus 5 raised to 2 multiply by minus 5 raised to 4. So how we are doing multiplication? We will write down base and we will add the index, that is 2 plus 4. So what is the answer? Minus 5 will write down as it is. 2 plus 4 is 6, right? Now as you can see here, the options are given. First option is 5 raised to 6 and the second option is minus 5 raised to 6. So don't select option A. Why? Because in option A the minus sign is not given. Okay, so we'll select the second option, that is option B, minus 5 raised to 6. Okay, as you can see the base is given minus 5. So which is the correct option? Minus 5 raised to 6 is the correct option, that is option B. So you will choose, you will select the correct answer, that is option B. Now we will see the second sum. 7 raised to 8 divided by 7 raised to 2. So in the division what we are doing? We are writing the base first and you will subtract the index. Okay, so 8 minus 2, that is 6, right? So options are given. A is 7 raised to 6 and B is 7 raised to 10. So which is the correct option? Option A is the correct option, that is 7 raised to 6. So you will select the correct option, that is option A, 7 raised to 6. Okay, hope you are clear with this. So these type of questions can come for exam. So today what we did? Today we are revised lesson number 5 and lesson number 6. Now today we'll stop till here. In the next session we'll do the revision of next two lessons, that is lesson number 11 and lesson number 13. Okay, so today we'll stop till here. Thank you so much.